So if you're here tonight, it means that you've crossed the bridge from transition into adaptation. This is the point in the fast when something incredible is happening. The fast actually feels easier, not because you suddenly became stronger, not because your willpower is increased, but because your body has learned a rhythm. It's learned your rhythm. Your metabolism is aligning with the structure that you've created, and that alignment, that cooperation between systems, is where healing begins. And that's what we're talking about in this episode. We're talking about the alignment and the adaptation that's going on in your body. Hey, if you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I want to help you to have the success in your health like you're having in all the other areas of your life, so that you can show up for those things that are so important. Family, friends, those dreams that you've been pouring into. You don't need a superhuman power, strength. You don't need to be Superman. What you need is a strategy you can trust. You need a plan that you can follow. And you need the support and the determination to keep showing up each single time. Hey, if you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments because we'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music. And let you know that we are excited that you're here. If you have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat because we want to make sure that we are saying hello and that we're answering those questions that you may have as we move through the episode this evening. Whatever platform you're joining us from, we welcome you. And whatever country, state, town, city, village you are joining us from, we welcome you as well. And a special shout out to our accelerator members who are out there. We are so happy that you are here hanging out with us. If you're new or if you're coming back, if you are just wanting to reorient yourself, make sure you get over to the channel. On the channel, there's that playlist that says Start Here. If you're interested in knowing, hey, how do I jump in? How do I get started? How do I improve my health? How do I do the things that they're talking about? Right there on the channel, the Start Here playlist. And then if you're interested in what's going on this week, what are we talking about? What are the topics? What are the shows? What is he eating this week, right? What did he eat to start the fast? And of course, what is he going to eat to end the fast? You want to get there as well. And on the channel, there is the playlist that says this week's videos. Make sure you get there. Remember, our goal here is so that we are providing a space where you can come and just plug in. And so lots of things are going on the channel. One of the most significant ones that's happening right now is our MOVE campaign, metabolic optimization via exercise. Just like we have the fasting, we also have a component of movement to move our body and to utilize this amazing engine that is one of our most precious metabolic tools. Let's go ahead and let's see that promo right now. Welcome to MOVE, Metabolic Optimization via Exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is MOVE. Let's get started. I'm so excited about that campaign because it is one of the most fundamental things that we talk about in the Limitless Living method. It is utilizing all parts of our bodies. Remember, the method says that we're showing up with our best selves, our best health, and our best plans. And a part of being our best selves, of course, is movement. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump into our check-in. As you know, I am right now at 56 hours into this week's fast. And for those of you who started the fast yesterday and ended the fast today during our check-in, here is a hand clap and just kudos to you to say that, hey, I'm proud of you, because it was a decision that you made, that you are going to take charge of your health, that you are going to do some things that are needed to get your body in the space where it can begin healing. Okay, remember, fasting is a reset. It's a tool. We can go through the list of what fasting is and what it does, but it is a choice that you made, and so kudos to you. Those of you who started the fast today, hats off to you as well. But let's go ahead and we're going to jump into our check-in, because I want you to know what I'm feeling when we talk about our fasting. Anytime you are actually doing something and you're looking for improvement, looking for benefit, you want to make sure that you are checking in. And there are 3 places that we want to do that, and that's how I'm feeling physically, how I'm feeling mentally, and how I'm feeling emotionally. Okay? So physically, this is where we notice energy shifts. This is where we notice your temperature. This is where we notice whether you're feeling hungry. Sometimes people will talk about feeling like they're walking through mud or feeling like they hit a wall. And I'll have to admit that this week, right after yesterday, I didn't do a good job of hydrating, and so today I have been feeling a lot tireder. And so when I got home this evening, I took a quick nap. And as I was getting ready for the show, had to go. I just ran into the bathroom, took a shower, just to get my mind and get my body energized. So this week, my fasting has been a little interesting the last day, or I should say the last 12 hours, because I didn't do a good job of hydrating. When I got to the end of today, I realized, wait a minute, you've only drank 1 bottle of water. And usually I'm drinking a lot more than that, okay? So right now, feeling a little bit more physically tired than I normally do during the fast. And then mentally, this is whether you're thinking clearly, whether you are feeling foggy, feeling like you're walking through a bubble, or feeling like you're in a tunnel. Those are all phrases that people will use. And as you know, the mental aspect of our body and our health goes along sometimes with the physical. So sometimes when we're not feeling energetic, we can feel a little fuzzy-headed. And that was the reason that I paused, right? I stopped what I was doing because I was here getting ready. I said, no, I've got to do something. Remember, move a muscle, change a thought. So I got up, went and took the shower, and so that got me clearer. And then, so that's physically, mentally, and then, of course, emotionally. This is whether you're feeling steady or you're feeling scattered. And this week actually has been a pretty good week. I'm feeling a lot more connected. There are some things that have been going on over the last couple of weeks, as you guys know if you've been following us. And so this week, feeling a lot more centered, a lot more stable. Not feeling as though things are getting away from me. So that was a good thing that happened this week. And then, of course, going back to the physical, making sure when you're in this space that you are doing what you need to do physically as well. Come back tomorrow and we'll do our complete check-in where we talk about preparing for the fast, getting through the fast, and of course breaking the fast. And we'll talk more about what's going on with me as we are moving through the fast. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's hop over and we're going to take a look at what's going on with my numbers. And here, let's start with my Libre, and that's what you're seeing right here. My Libre right now says that my blood sugar is 61. Okay, and so if you look at the graph that's down here, for most of today, my blood sugars have been below 70. And you'll see right at the beginning of that graph, and actually let me do this, I'm going to put my finger on that. Right at the beginning of the graph, you'll see there that we were in the 70s, and that's the white part of that squiggly line that you see. And as we got into the day, this is the last 12 hours or so, then we went below 70 and have stayed below 70 for most of, I think we popped up there right in here, got up to 70. And then for most of the day, I've been writing down in the 60s, right? And actually, right here, let's see, where was that? Right in here, dropped below 60, even down to 59. And let's see, 58, right in there, and then low 60s, low 60s, low 60s, to where I think, did I see a 58? Yeah, another 58 right there. Okay. And what I love about this is I can actually change the view, and I can look at different reports. And here is my time in range. And we're looking at this number right here, 81% for the last 7 days. And then 19%, which is the red part, 19% has been lows. Those occur. Why? Because I'm fasting. So when I'm fasting, you will see those numbers. And that's what we saw today, where the graph was in the red. I can go to 14 days, 30 days, and then of course I can go to 90 days. And I love the 90-day version because my A1C, when I go to see my doctor, is going to be based on what's been going on for the last 90 days, right? So you'll see right there, I'm time in range 87%, 13% low, so I'm expecting that my A1C should be pretty good. If you've not done so, several weeks ago now, we did a show where I actually showed my personal lab results as I was going to see my doctor. Get over there, you watch that show, and you'll be able to see those labs. And that was a good one too, not just for people who are diabetic, but if you are interested in your metabolism, if you're interested in your fatty liver or weight or cholesterol or blood pressure, that's a good one to look at so that you now beginning to get a feel for what some of those labs mean. Okay? And then coming out of that report and going over here, here is my average blood sugar. And I'm just, for this one, just jump right to the, well, let's do 14 days, 30 days, and then of course 90 days. And that's my average right up in here. And then as part of this, we have the ability to break what my blood sugars are out based on times of the day. And that's what you're seeing in here. I love this because I get to make decisions about my day based on what the blood sugars are at different times of the day. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I love looking at these graphs. And then let's go ahead and let's see what the Dexcom says. And so remember, the Libre says that my blood sugar was in the 60s, and the Dexcom says 80, so 86 is what it's showing right now. And then going down to the graph, just like we did before, this one is a 24-hour graph, and just putting my finger and then starting to go through that, and you'll see there we've been hanging in the low 100s, yeah, low 100s, and then right there dipping down into the 90s as we got later into the day, and then 80s, 90s, and then down to where we are right now in the mid 80s. So that's a great one. I love seeing that because it means that my blood sugars were stabilizing there. And as you saw, for those of you who are maybe watching for the first time or not aware, that look, you see the Dexcom and the Libre were different from each other. And right now we're about to jump over and look at some of my other monitors, my Keto Mojo and my Contour, and we'll be able to compare those two monitors to what these continuous monitors are doing. So let's go ahead and let's look at that right now. So here is my, let me go back to the Libre one. So here is my Keto Mojo, and then here's my Contour, and I'm going to grab my little container. This is the strip for the Contour, and then I need a blue strip for ketones for my, turn that one upside down. That's for my ketones for the Keto Mojo, and then I need a brown strip for blood sugar. And then of course, I'm gonna grab a couple of these Lancets. Get that back. And let's go ahead, I'm gonna put these down off to the side. Come back to that in a minute. Get a test strip for the Contour. Get that in there. And then this, I'm going to open both of these. So this is the glucose strip for the Keto Mojo. I'm going to get that one opened. There we are. And get it into the machine. And at the same time, I'm going to open up this one and just have it off to the side. so that it's ready to go when I'm ready to check my ketones, okay? All right, and then here is my Lancet. So we'll grab that, and let me go ahead and put this view back up so you can see. And I've been picking on this finger. It is, you know, it's one of the hazards of checking blood sugar is that you tend to always use the same finger. I used to use this one, and then I went to this one, and then now I've been using this one, but that's okay. And I don't know if you can see, you may be able to see right there at my fingertips, right? You see how that's dark right in that area and right in here? So those are, you can tell where I check my blood sugar, right? So like I said, I used to use this one. That one's cleared up. I used to use this one, and then now I'm over here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get that. And that should give us a pretty good drop. Yeah, there we are. And get this started. Get my contour started. And then I'll need to keep milking this because I'll need a drop for the ketones. And so here you see that my Keto Mojo says 64, my contour says 67, and right there my Libre says 54. And going back, I just want to show you this one. And so right now the odd man out is the Dexcom, because the Dexcom is much higher than these other two. Now let's go ahead and take this off the screen. Take this one out and go ahead and get the strip in for the ketones. So what do you think my ketones are going to be? So right now at 56 hours, go ahead and start dropping that in the comments. And let's see. There we are. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And ketones are 1.1. So let's go ahead. Let's get over to the Keto Mojo app and see if we can get it to pull that in. So 1.1. So when we talk about ketones, right? So ketones that are less than 0.5 are considered normal. 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and then above 1.5 considered therapeutic ketosis. So right now I'm in the nutritional ketosis period. And so here on this app, and let me go back to this view, we're looking at these numbers right here. So 3.2 is what my glucose ketone index is. So that's a ratio of blood sugar to ketones. And my ketones are 1.1 with glucose of 64, okay? So this means, right, those ketones being 1.1, meaning that my body is getting energy, ketones, from somewhere. So those are coming from the breakdown of fat, and that's happening because on the other side there you see that my glucose is low. So when we're looking at fasting, you're in a fasting mimicking diet, you are fasting because you want to get into ketosis, or you're on a ketogenic diet, this is what you want to see. This is the pattern you want to see, with the GKI being low, the ketones being high, and the glucose being low normal. All right. So yeah, so that's where we are. And so excited when I see that, because that means that my body is now burning what? It is burning fat, y'all. That's right, it's burning fat. All right, so let's go ahead and let's say hello to some of our community members. I see you guys out there, so let's say that, and then we'll get into our discussion for this evening. And so I see Gian out there. Gian says, let's see, let's get rid of that one. Here we are. So Gian says, hello, or hi, doctor. Hey, Gian, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. Says she ended her fast yesterday on Thursday, a 48-hour fast, so congratulations. And Gian, I think this is your 12th, is that right? 12th week of fasting. And then here, I think you were guessing at what my ketones were going to be, and they were actually 1.1, as you saw. Kenti says, great job, 48 hours, that's right. And Kenti was guessing ketones at 0.7, and so we were above that. Hi, Kenti, good afternoon. And Kenti said, good afternoon to you also out there in South Korea. So we've got some folks in South Korea, we got some folks in New Zealand, and of course, folks around here, around the country who are watching as well. Thanks. It's 12:18 p.m. there. So Gian is saying. And Kenti says 4:20 Friday afternoon. Good luck in your eye recovery. Well, thank you. And then Gian, of course, is smiling. So let's go ahead and let's hop into our discussion for this evening. Exciting for this as we move into this fasting space. So let's do that now. All right, so we are in our 56-hour fast. Actually, a little bit more than 56-hour fast. And this is the transition zone. No. Right? No, this is not the transition zone. This is the alignment zone. The transition zone, as you recall, started, and we went through that as we did our 33-hour fast. So we're beyond that now. And so tonight we're talking about this alignment, and we're asking one question: why does fasting get easier at 56 hours? Why does it feel easier, right? That's our transition. And we're talking about the adaptation. Why does it feel better? At 33 hours, your body transitioned. At 56 hours, your body is aligning. It's aligning, and all the hormones and the enzymes and the different mechanisms are now beginning to talk to each other. The noise quiets, the signals stabilize, and the work you did earlier in the fast begins to pay off. And so that's what we're going to be looking at as we walk into the space, this adaptation zone. And we want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the body, right? We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the body. So at 56 hours, several major systems are synchronizing. Ketones rise and they stabilize because your body is now in beta oxidation. The glycogen has been used up, and we are fully connected to this source of energy. Your brain begins using ketones as the primary fuel. This creates smooth energy instead of the spikes that we get when we use sugar. The blood sugars become predictable. You're no longer fluctuating. You are now, essentially, you're gliding, okay? This is why dizziness, irritability, and cravings from earlier begin disappearing, because we've moved from using fluctuating energy to using solid, stable, cleaner energy. Hunger hormones begin to shift. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, drops significantly. Your appetite quiets. This is biological. This is not psychological. This is what's happening. And this all supports you in the fast. Cortisol begins to synchronize to your rhythm. So stress hormone falls in a predictable pattern. And this is where resilience, right? This is where resilience in your body takes over. Your system is cooperating. It's not fighting. Mitochondria increase efficiency. Your cells begin producing energy with less waste, less inflammation, and with more clarity. And your mood begins to steady. Ketones are supporting this neurotransmitter like gabapentin and serotonin. That's why you feel calmer. So adaptation is resilience expressed biologically. That's what's going on. That's the adaptation signal. So why does it feel easier? Because the structure that is in the body, the system that's there, is protecting what the motivation started. When we talked about that, as we got into the fast, we were hit the ground running. We were excited about it. Oh man, this is our 12th time fasting. This is our 100th time fasting. We are getting into our fast for this day, for this week. So motivation is there, and as we move into the 24-hour period, into the 36-hour period, into the 48-hour period, now the 56-hour period, we've moved from that motivation, We're now moving into this idea of the structure in our body doing what it needs to do to help protect us. Okay? And so let's talk a little bit about some adaptation signals. Adaptation signals. Here is what many of you may be feeling right now. Emotions are quieting because you're calmer. Energy is steady, not roller coaster. Blood sugars become predictable. Your eating is kind of fading, the thought of eating. Temptations don't feel as loud. Right? You've heard me say that the food noise quiets. When I approach a fast, I get excited because the food noise is going to be quiet. Your sleep may be deeper. Mental clarity is better. Stabler mood. Warmth is now beginning to return to your hands and your feet. These are not mindset wins. These are metabolic adaptation. And these are signals that your body is doing what it needs to do, right? This is where stress becomes strategy. Your system is aligned. Stress hormones, energy pathways, and hunger signals are finally working together. And so there's this metabolic trust that happens as the body does an amazing job of now doing the things that it couldn't do before, like autophagy. Autophagy is the cellular cleanup process that's going on in the body, where the body is recycling, is going out and is taking broken, damaged, used cells that are not functioning properly, and it is recycling those and sending those out. And we are beginning to have metabolic trust. Your body now trusts you. By 56 hours, your body has learned something important, that you're not in danger. When the body feels safe, it can now turn its attention to rebuilding because your fuel systems are cooperating. Inflammation is decreasing. Autophagy, one of the cleanup benefits. Cellular repair is increasing. The cortisol is settling. So we're no longer in danger. So the body says, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Now, instead of being on surveillance all the time, I can now turn my attention to building and repairing. Even your cravings are quieter, right? Food noise. And your decision making improves. This is what I call the metabolic trust curve. You've shown your body a rhythm, and your body responds with stability. So when your body trusts you, your metabolism follows. Yeah. So that is what's going on. So autophagy and all those things are happening. We talked about mitochondrial biosynthesis. So these are the batteries that are in your body. These are the batteries that are in the cell. So it is the place where your food ultimately goes to create energy. So at 56 hours, this process revs up. And so because we're having the cellular cleanup that's going on with autophagy, then the body's taking some of the damaged mitochondria, the ones that aren't functioning well, it's sending them off, recycling them, and those boys come back and they are on fire. So your job during this is not pushing harder. Your job is protecting the environment that created this alignment. And how do we protect it? We protect it with hydration. We protect it with making sure that we have enough electrolytes. We protect it by light movement, not being overly aggressive in our activity. We protect it with our rest. We protect it by not getting into overly stressful environments and situations. We protect it by journaling. We protect it by maintaining our routine. And we protect it by our evening wind down. Right? So what we're doing is we're working to align the things that we do with what the body is expecting, with where the body is. And we've talked about the hormones, right? So the hormones are also cooperating at this point. And this part of the fast is actually where a lot of people will feel good and sometimes make the mistake of doing more. Like, man, I'm feeling great. Oh, let me go do some more stuff. So don't do that. Right now, healing is happening behind the scenes. Your job is to hold the environment steady, to protect what's going on, as those hormones are all now beginning to cooperate with each other. Yeah? And so, as we do that, what you want to do is you want to notice and be aware of the fact that during this process, you may feel better overall because inflammation is going down, immunity is improving, your cells may have more power, more energy to fight things that are going on. People talk about clearer skin, they talk about better focus. This is where we talk about this idea of improving our cognition, improving our memory. Alzheimer's disease, right? What we're calling type 3 diabetes is the phrase that people are using. So potentially to improve all of that in this space because of the benefit and the power that comes from fasting. And so immunity is improving. So your structure protects the science. What does that mean? That means that the things that we do, if we follow the right plan, follow the right path, then the things that we do in our body and the things that we're doing in our days should help to support what is already going on in our body. Now, here's an important point that I want you to get. And the point is this, that your body is your body is interested. Your body wants to. Your body is in the process of doing what it needs to do to repair itself. That's the goal, because the body's job is to keep you alive. And so it has systems that are designed to repair. For instance, autophagy as an example. But because we are not in the structure and the routine of giving rest, the body never gets to the point where it is at ease enough, where it's not stressed, so that it can begin repairing. And so our job is to put structures in place so that it can protect what the science already says is there. It's already built in. It's already caked in. It's already waiting for you to do what you should do and what you can do and what you must do to heal. And so there's this shift, right, that's going on in the body, right? We've talked about the transition, and now we are adapting. We're adapting. So the body is doing the things it needs to do to be healthy. It is the space that we've given it. We're holding space for it. That's a good phrase that we talk about sometimes when we talk about counseling and we're talking about coaching and we're talking about supporting other people. We're basically holding space. We're not doing anything miraculous. We're just sitting and taking a break, which is what fasting is. We're taking a break and allowing the body to reset. So we're supporting that shift. Okay? And when we do that, there's this domino effect that begins happening. When we do one thing, it begins affecting many things downstream. We've talked about the domains of health, basically the spokes, the wheel of life that takes us on our journey. And often we think of that as though it is the different components. Well, this thing is happening over there, and this thing is happening over there, and they don't interact with each other. But guess what? They do interact with each other. So when we do one thing in one area, when we rest, when we get good rest, when we hydrate, that hydration, that rest, actually goes into other areas in that domain of health, in those domains of health. And we have the ability to improve other areas that we hadn't even thought about. Because when we fast, we are forced to live life on life's terms. What does that mean? That means that you no longer have food to turn to as a buffer. And so now you've got to learn how to deal with the emotions that will come. If you're going to get through the fast well, you've got to rest. If you're going to get through the fast well, you've got to do a good job of eating during your eating window, so nutrition is better. Notice that all of this is a result of simply fasting. So what is your one domino? What is the thing that you will do that will support the fast? What is the thing you do to support your health? My non-negotiable is fasting. And we've asked you in the past that you should get one food non-negotiable, one movement non-negotiable, and one mindset non-negotiable. So my food non-negotiable is fasting. I fast every week because that allows me to align everything else I do with my food to do what I needed to do. So that's my non-negotiable. My non-negotiable. Okay? So that's a domino. So what is your one domino? Pick your one domino. That's your non-negotiable. And then structure becomes regulation, self-regulation. It becomes that trust that we have in our body. And so here I want to go back to a concept that we've talked about before, and that's the inner design loop. We anchor, we align, and we adapt. Anchor, align, and we adapt. But the structure of the inner design loop, those are the three things. But at 56 hours, the IDL becomes extremely useful. Anchoring, what does that mean in this space? Anchoring means, what am I experiencing? Name the things that are going on. Do I feel calm? Is the hunger gone? Am I having mental clarity? What's happening? What am I feeling right now? And begin anchoring myself there. Aligning, what rhythm do I have that's supporting what I want to do and what I say I want? Am I resting? Am I hydrating? Am I walking? Am I doing some gentle exercises? Do I have my electrolytes there? Because remember, we're supporting the fast. And then we adapt. What needs to change? Small adjustments. We're not talking about big, grandiose things, but just little tweaks. Do I go to bed a little earlier? Do I get a little bit more water? Less stimulation, less stress? Do I pause before I react? Have I learned some of those skills? And how do I change what I'm doing so that the fast can continue to be successful? So adaptation without reflection, without thinking, without looking, becomes accidental. And we don't want it to be accidental. We want it to be repeatable over and over and over, because we're looking to do something for the rest of our lives. We're not looking for one time short, hey, we're doing this for today and tomorrow and the next week, maybe the next couple of months, and then we're done. No. Are you able to do something for the rest of your life? And if we're going to do that, we've got to make sure that we are putting those things in place, those systems, those structures in place, so that we can continue to be healthy. Okay? So here let me do this first. What we've talked about is why fasting gets easier. Fasting gets easier because your body is finally able to do the job of resetting and of cleanup and of self-improvement and self-regulation. Other than that, we're running all the time. We're eating frequently. We're not resting. We're stressed out. But when we're fasting, we're giving space. We're holding space for the body. So we talked about that. So why fasting gets easier. How your metabolism aligns at 56 hours. So 56 hours, we've seen all those hormones that are talking to each other and resting and resetting and cooperating with each other. Why calm and clear and clarity appear. We talked about how metabolic trust develops. As your body now says, okay, this is not an anomaly, this is how we roll now. And how we go about protecting this zone that we're in. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. Resilience is the ability to be persistent. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking. And resilience is the ability to absorb, so increase our capacity. Resilience turns effort into ease. And this happens once the system is aligned. This happens once our body gets familiar with the routine. Once we put the structure in place. Once we do that, when we do that, then we're able to do this over and over and over and over again. And that ultimately, as I said, is the job. That's what we want to happen. So here are some takeaways for you. Okay? So repair replaces reaction. So the body is in the process of repairing. Structure stabilizes the science. The body's already geared. It's already primed. It's already designed to do the repairing. It's already designed to improve. We just need to provide structure. And adaptation builds metabolic trust. So as we are doing this on a continual basis, on a routine basis, then our body begins to trust us. And we don't have to do any superhuman things. We just need to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to be successful. Yeah? And so the limitless living method says, it says that we are going to build the life. We're going to build the health. And we're going to live limitless. It's not about one more fast, actually. It's actually not even about one more rep. It's not about one more glass of water. What it is about is you putting a structure in place that supports all of the health that you want, supports all of the wholeness that you want. That's what this is all about. How do you stay around? How do you remain healthy enough? How do you show up in such a way so that you connect to the things, the people that are so important to you? So here at 56 hours, this adaptation allows our body space so that it repairs, so that our mind settles, so that the hormones begin cooperating. And the goal for all of this is so that you can have success here in your health, just like you're having it in other spaces. Not superhuman strength, but a strategy you can trust, a plan you can follow and support so that you can show up over and over and over and over again. That's what we want to do. And that's what we're doing here as we walk through the resilience in this adaptation zone at 56 hours of fasting. Stay with us. We continue to move in the space of being healthy. We'll be back. Join us for another episode. Man, this adaptation zone is amazing. It is this idea of keeping your rhythm, keeping your structure, and as always, being limitless, right? That's our goal. And as we move through this week, some interesting things are happening over here in the next couple of weeks. We've got some holidays that are coming up. So I want to spend a moment and talk a little bit about what's going on with the holidays. Okay? And let me do this here really quickly. So when we talk about holidays can be a pretty interesting time. I'm going to use the word interesting. And when I say interesting, I guess I should go ahead and use the word stressful. It's a stressful time that can happen. Because there's a lot that comes into play when we talk about holidays. There is the busyness. There are the interactions that we have with people that we've not seen for a while sometimes. People that we have maybe moved away from, we've not seen. And when we get together, if there have not been movements in the direction of healing for some of the relationships, we're just jammed together because we want to have this time together, but we've not taken the time to deal with the relationships. There's also the lack of sleep that goes along with holidays because we're busy, we're cooking, we're eating, we're visiting, right? We're traveling. Hands up. And so that itself causes some heightened stress. And as you know, in the stressful environment, the heat model is in full force. Habits, emotions, access, and taste. Those things that push our buttons that will pull us off of our eating plan if we're not careful. And so as you go into the holidays, I want you to be mindful of a few things. Number one, the holidays are not about food. Hey, did you hear? So holidays are not about food. Holidays are about connection, and holidays are about the things that we do in those periods, not the things that we eat. Now, we've come to associate certain foods and certain things with holidays. In fact, and let me see if I can pull this up for you. Can I tell you? Yeah. So one of the one of my things is when I was growing up, my dad was an amazing eggnog maker. Yep, he did. He made eggnog like you would not believe, y'all. Okay? And so comes holiday time, eggnog. And so I went to the grocery store recently, and they had eggnog because it comes out at certain times, right? So actually started a couple of weeks ago, and one of my friends actually sent me a picture of eggnog. But I went to the grocery store, and I was walking through, and I almost lost my mind because I'm looking through, and there was eggnog everywhere. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you now is some eggnog. So here we go. Let's do this one. Just a couple of pictures. All right. So can you guys see that? Right. So we're not promoting any particular brand, but it just happened to be there's some eggnog in there. Okay. And let's see. Let's go back this way. So here's some more eggnog. Right? They got all kinds of stuff in there. And then one more, and then we'll stop. Right? So eggnog, eggnog, eggnog. Now, why am I showing you that? Because during the holidays, heat, habits, emotions, access, and taste is in full force. The habits that we have formed, we do things, we eat in certain ways simply because that's what we do. We go to Thanksgiving and we are going to eat Aunt Sue's pie. We're going to, right? So, because we have family traditions, we have all those things. And I'm going to make a point here in just a minute. So we do that because that's what we do. We eat because of emotions, because of those interactions that come. We eat because of the stress, the lack of sleep. We eat because of anxiety, of anticipation, of seeing certain people and being with some certain people. We eat because of access. Because after all, there's some things that you don't get all year round. But during this time, guess what? Here it comes. And we eat because of taste. And that's what I was just showing you. I like eggnog. Not so much just because I like eggnog. Now, it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. But when I drink eggnog, it reminds me of when I was growing up. It reminds me of my dad, who's been gone now for several years. And so during this time, those buttons are being pushed. And as you get into the season, the very first thing you want to do is you want to understand that that's going to happen. Put a pin, pause right here. It's going to happen. You are telling yourself right now, no, it's not, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Right? Some situation, some memory, some taste, some smell, some sight, some lack of sleep is going to push a button. It's going to happen. And your job is not to make sure that your environment is so pristine that you avoid all of those. But it is, though, to understand it's going to happen and to have some things that you've put in place that's going to help you get through the holiday season. Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. That's our COPE model that says that I am not hungry right now, but I just had that conversation with that cousin, with that friend, with that mom, with that dad, or we just showed up and we've been traveling all day, or I just got here and I'm supposed to stay up all night and I'm supposed to cook. So that's what's going on. It's not that I'm hungry. Observe where it is. Am I angry? Am I frustrated? Am I tired? Am I lonely? Where is it in my body? Is my stomach churning like butterflies? My shoulders, are they tight? Do I feel like my head is on fire? Right? Anxiety, tension, anger, right? You notice different parts of the body. And what do I have in my bag that I can use to deal with that? So clarify, observe, pause. Now, the pause is perhaps the most powerful part of this whole process, because the pausing allows the prefrontal cortex to come and regulate everything else. Otherwise, the amygdala, that part of our body or part of our mind that's responsible for safety and survival, it takes over. It thinks I'm in danger, and it reacts. So I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel frustrated. I don't want to feel like I feel, so let me go drink some eggnog. Go. Yeah, notice that's from the box, by the way. That's not in a glass. That's just grab the box, and I'm going with it. So pausing, and then execute. Execute means that I'm doing something else. I'm doing some box breathing. In through the nose for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, hold it for 4. Doing that 3 times. Going for a walk, a 5-minute walk, stepping outside. Remember, move a muscle, change a thought. I'm going to do some meditation. Am I going to go to my happy place? St. Simon's Island, by the way. That's my happy place. I haven't said that in a while. But I end up there. And so I am going through the process. I'm at St. Simon's Island. I'm walking down the road, the little cobblestone. I'm seeing the little shops. I'm remembering when we were there several years ago. So what's your tool? We're doing something different. Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. So it's going to happen. I will use my tools that I've learned. I will understand that this is not about perfection. And I understand that I'm allowed to have fun and I'm allowed to eat the things that are on that table. Yeah. That's a good one right there. I'm allowed to eat. I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to eat the food that is there. But I'm keeping in mind how I'm eating. And that's the whole idea of our balanced bites. Whole foods first. Minimize processing. Minimize added sugar. Lean protein and healthy fats. Starchy, non-starchy vegetables, leaning more to this non-starchy. Portion control, tasty and flavorful. This is not about restriction. Like, I'm going to go, I'm not going to eat anything. Yes, you are. And if you don't, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be angry, you're going to be mad, you're going to be, right, all those things. And you're going to end up eating more anyway. It's not about restriction. It's about management. The structure that you have in place works now. It will also work then if you work it. Notice I didn't say you can't have any peach cobbler or apple pie or pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie or dressing or stuffing, whichever one you call it. I didn't say you couldn't have any cranberry sauce. I didn't say you couldn't have any eggnog. I didn't say you could not have any ice cream or custard. I didn't say you couldn't have anything. What I said is you got to have the structure in place. And if you follow the structure that you have, you will successfully get through the holidays. And then finally remember that the holidays, it's not about the food. It's about the connection and the richness that comes from the season. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow as we do our complete review of fasting, right? 72 hours. How do we prepare for the fast? How do we get through the fast? And how do we break the fast? Come by. You get to see what I eat for the first time in 72 hours. We'll be here as we do our video from the vault Saturday night, 9 p.m., 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, This Week in Review. And then we'll be right back here next Monday for Dwain Woode MD Live as we continue walking through the pathway of the blueprints. Now, next week, our schedule is going to look a little different because we're in the holidays, right? So schedule will look a little different. We'll have our show on Monday. We will do a check-in pop-up on Tuesday. The rest of the week will look a little different. Come on by. There are going to be some things here in this space. Likely will not be live. You probably see me popping up from different places. That's okay. But I want you to do this for me. I want you to enjoy the season. I want you to enjoy. And if you saw my pop-up earlier today, when we did our 48-hour check-in, one of the points I made there, and I'll make it here again, is that you are enough. You are adequate. You are not broken. You are not damaged. In this season, when the thoughts come, whatever the thoughts may be, people tend to get down on themselves. But if nobody said it to you, let me say it to you right here from the Limitless Living Method and from Dr. Woode and from this community. You are adequate. You are enough. You are sufficient. You are not broken. You are wanted. you are in community. Right? All right, let's go ahead and let's jump over. We're going to say hello to, I see some folks out there with some comments. Let's go ahead and see where we are. Let's see, where did we stop? Oh, we saw some, oh, here comes Jennifer. Did we say hi to Jennifer? I don't know. Let's go, I'm going to go back up a little bit. Let's see. All right, let's start with Kenti. Kenti says, 56 hours, hand clap music to you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Week after week of consistency. Smiley face from Gian. Howdy all from Jennifer. What's going on, Jennifer? Gian says hi to Jennifer. Hey, Gian. Smiley face. Jennifer said, we raised a turkey for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, come on now. So, Jennifer, you're always doing good stuff over there. We got to come out there. Let's see, I'm going to put that on my calendar next month, next year. Wow, amazing. Jennifer said, ooh, I love good eggnog. Oh, Jennifer, you don't know the half of it. She said, we have a local dairy who makes great eggnog. Oh, wow. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. All natural and sold in returnable glass bottles. Oh, yum. Yum, 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 yum. And Gian saying, I love it, Jennifer. All right, y'all. So we educate, we empower, and we encourage. That's the Triple E formula for success. We educate with the shows, with the podcasts, with the blogs. We empower with the tools that we're learning, all the things that you're seeing us do here. And we encourage with the community that you are part of and the community that you are helping to grow. I can't tell you enough how your story is enriching the community. So when you come, share your story, the successes that you're having, and the places that you're having some challenges, because that brings richness. Your story, your thoughts, your challenges are exactly the question that somebody else has. And when you share that, you get the community excited, you get those people to answer their question, and they may have something on their end that they can share with us as well. Okay, so we educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. I'm always excited when I get to hang out with you here in this space, and excited when I get to see the benefits that you are getting in your health and in your metabolism. So, y'all, we will see you in the course of the week. We'll see you back again next Monday for Dwain Woode MD Live. And if not, enjoy your holiday. Come by and join us on the show. We'll have some things over here. Send us a message. Send us a picture. Send us something that you're eating, right? So that we can see that you are having a good time and that you're enjoying yourself. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Remember, our goal is to help you to have the success in your health like you're having in those other areas of your life as well. So you can show up for the things and those events that are so important, the connection with family and friends. So you can show up for those dreams that you've been pouring into. You got to be around and you've got to be healthy. You don't need to be Superman or Superwoman. What you need is a strategy you can trust. You need a plan you can follow. And you need the support to keep showing up time after time after time. We'll see you next time. Let's go ahead and we're going to listen to that Move promo, and then we'll be out of here. Good night, everybody. Welcome to Move, metabolic optimization via exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started.